Hello, everyone, and welcome to MediaMelt, the show where we talk about the media that is supposed to melt our minds, or in the very least, tries to. I'm, of course, your host, Dylan Strickland, and today, can you hear that? Can you hear the lawnmower thing?
Oh, not at all.
Okay. Maybe it's just me then, because I was like, holy shit, that's loud. But it's just me. Today, let's talk about Halloween Kills. Joining me is Katie Mark, who is a House of Torment worker, actress, and a horror enthusiast. How are you doing, Katie?
Oh, I'm good. I'm great. Off the heels
good.
of seeing this movie, great.
I'm glad you felt that way. Just going to give you guys a breakdown of how the show is going to go today. We are going to talk about Halloween 1978 and Halloween 2018. Before we talk about Halloween Kills, we're not going to talk about every single Halloween movie that has ever been released just because, well, they're not really related, and there are so many movies in this franchise without them already. It's enough for us to just talk about these two. Maybe if they do another sequel, we'll talk about 2 and 3. But for right now, this is what we're going to focus on. Just want to let you guys know we are also available on all podcasting sources. So Spotify, iTunes, anything you want to do. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get started. So, Katie, what did you think about Halloween 1978?
I like the original Halloween. I mean, it's it's one of those things that I think I like it so much because of what's come after it. Because I mean, a lot of horror movie tropes are based on the movies from this era specifically, like the 70s and 80s, are where we're getting like a lot of those horror greats, and a lot of those things like camp and like horror comedies are based on things from this era. So it's like I enjoy it because I recognize the elements of parody and stuff. I also enjoy it based on like, oh, knowing this makes me enjoy other movies later in the franchise a lot better, because like in Halloween's attempt to expand, they do a lot of like weird stuff, which I guess we'll get into later, where it really benefits you to see the first one. So I mean, I like the original Michael. I like the original Michael mask a lot. I love that. Yeah, I like it better than the. I like it better than the really stark, like the chalky looking white one.
The new one. Do you like it better than the new one?
Oh, no, I love the new one. Sorry, to clarify, it's not my favorite. However, I like it better than the, like, in the middle, what is it, in 4 or whatever, and it's just, like, super white, and it's, like, unused, and it's, like...
Oh, you've seen all of them?
I've seen a lot of them, yes.
I haven't seen... I'm so glad you're here, then, because I haven't seen any of them besides 1 and the 2 new ones.
I'm very happy for you. But I like that. I like a lot of like the original Michael stuff works for me. And I like that they kept I like that a lot of the effects in the original are practical.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked it. You know what I mean? I liked it more than. I guess I like the original Halloween more in concept though than the actual like. Really? Execution.
I think it's better than Friday the 13th, or at least the first.
No, I agree. Yeah. If we're comparing, yes, I think Michael is stronger. I saw this like really great TikTok a couple weeks ago that was like, if you had to choose whether to fight Freddy, Jason, or Michael, that it's like. Did I send that to you?
I think so. Yeah, I think.
Where it was like, where they're like, you're so stupid because the only thing you have to do to be Michael is walk faster than 2 miles an hour.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So I forget the name of the actor who's in the original, but his like physicality in establishing the character of the shape, I really like.
You mean the absence of one, where it's just like his like,
where he's just like.
Just straight back.
Yeah, where it's just a straight, like a full true neutral. Like for those of you who are like familiar, like he has not made one specific choice, but I think like I think that's why I like it.
That is the choice. Is
the lack of the choice? Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. See, so the first time I saw this movie, or at least the 1978 one, I thought it was trash. I think I watched it with you for the first time, and me and our other buddy where we were like, this movie's terrible. Like, it's not good. But that's why
I like the idea of it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Rewatching it before Halloween Kills, I actually kind of liked it. I actually kind of enjoyed it. Yeah, I actually thought it was kind of good. I was like, I don't know what it was. Maybe because I think there's a problem if you're watching horror films for the first time. Like if it's your first time seeing the horror film, if you're watching it for the first time with your friends, I think it instantly becomes a shittier movie.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to like joke and like ruin the tension in horror films. So if you are with friends and they are joking, there's no tension like at all. So you just won't be scared. But
I also think our tastes in that, like, because we watched it 4 years ago, and I think since then we've consumed so much media, specifically horror media, that our tastes have matured and expanded since then. And we've seen
we've seen the bottom of the barrel.
Like the cap for bad horror movies is so like our expectations now are so much lower. Like
well, it's also like. See, I think the movie builds tension. I would have never said this 4 years ago, but I think the movie actually builds tension pretty well. Because like there's something about the nature of the way he like watches them that's like really eerie. And I don't know if maybe I'm just like more aware of like.
No, I like that too.
Yeah, it just
like the classic where she's in the classroom, where she's sitting in the classroom, and then she just looks out the window, and he's just literally standing there like. I like that a lot, and like.
What I do hate is that when you're not looking at him, he has to be like, what's the runner's name? Usain Bolt.
The runner?
Oh. When you're not looking at him, when you turn away for half a second, he becomes Usain Bolt.
He's like,
and is able to like.
He's just gone immediately when you look back.
Light. Yeah, because there's parts where they're looking at him, and then he goes behind a bush, and then it's like literally less than 3 seconds later, they go to the bush, and he's just nowhere to be found for miles.
I will say some of the original, like the zoom ins on Michael, cringy.
Yeah, it is a little dated sometimes.
Yeah.
It is. And I think it gets a little goofy sometimes. Like they do it in the 2018 one, but when he puts the knife in the dude, and then the dude is just stuck to the wall. The amount of strength you'd have to one.
Right, we talked about that we talked about that because we also saw the 2018 one together.
You and Andrew saw it. So watching it for this show, it was the first time I've ever seen it.
You didn't see it?
No, you guys went and saw it without me, and I saw it alone, like literally just 2 days ago. It was the first time I'd seen it, and I will talk about it in a second. But I have.
Well, I'm interested to hear your thoughts.
But yeah, no, I've never seen it. You guys came out and you were like, "Oh my god, it was really fun." It's a little dumb, but it's super fun. But yeah, we'll talk about it in a second. They have their obligatory. I'm a 1980s film, and I have to put a naked woman in there for no reason.
We love it.
Yeah, do we?
Like you're watching a movie that like drags a little bit in the middle, and you're like, "Oh no, don't show me boobies."
We know. Well, the thing with it is like. I just don't feel like it's necessary. Like, yes, she does.
It's so unnecessary.
But the thing with it, it's so like obviously there just for us to be like, oh, like I'm getting to see titties, and like when it's in a film and it's like, okay, well now the two characters are having sex. I'm like, okay, then it makes sense.
And it's one thing,
like, naked. But when it's fucking Michael going up the stairs after his sister has had sex, and she just is brushing her hair without a shirt on. Or like anything at all, like she's just in the mirror with her tits out, like brushing her hair. I'm like, who does that? I've never seen.
I will say, not as egregious as Candyman, though.
Yeah, Candyman is. I don't even want to talk about Candyman. God.
I know. I was like, because we just came off of watching all the Candymans. Yeah. I was like, in comparison, this was very little.
It was. It's the minimal, and it's such a. It really is a 1980s horror trope to have So it's almost like. It's like if I was to like sit down and watch all 1980s, all 1970s horror film, there would genuinely be a drinking game every time. Like there'd have to be. Like that's the drinking game, is that you sit down and every time somebody's boobs are out, you take a sip or a shot.
Mm-hmm. I also think I would be remiss if we moved on from the original Halloween and not mentioned. I love the theme to Halloween, and I love that like how they have like when you see Michael. There it is, you know what I mean? Right in. And I just like, I love that because I love a serial killer with a theme. I really, really do.
It's fun.
Or like a sound, or like, with Freddy, you have like the scraping and you have the, and you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I like that personally a lot, and I know Halloween ushered a lot more of that.
Watching the one from 1978 though, sometimes when I was thinking about the movie, all I could think about was how Michael is just a dude. Like he's just a guy. And they expand upon it in the new one, I guess. I guess they tried to expand
not according to the 2021.
We'll talk about it in the new one. But in 1978 and 2018, at least, he's just a guy. And I think it's really funny because he gets shot like 7 times. And oh my God, Kate, I cannot keep it together when he raises up from the floor like the Undertaker. And he just goes dong. It's so funny, dude. I can't, and I think his mask is terrible in the first one. I disagree with you. Well, you've seen the other one, so maybe it gets
iconic.
Worse. I do
think it gets worse. Yes.
In 2018, I think it's really cool looking, but in the first one,
no, I love it.
It looks so bad in my opinion. Like I hate it. Wow.
Yeah.
Here I wrote down everything that Michael experiences in the first movie, and I want you to tell me if you think you'd survive this. We'll just start off. I've got it down from like first to last. So you tell me what you think you'd live to, or could possibly live through. A threading needle through the neck.
Maybe. I'm thinking yes. I could survive that. Yes.
Okay. A stab to the chest.
Where in the chest? I got a good protective covering. In my solar plexus?
Yeah.
I said if you're going to get me in a titty, I think I could really easily survive. But if you're going straight for the bone, then my ribs will collapse because I have feeble lungs.
Okay, so you think that one kills. Do you leave through the needle in the neck? 6 bullets shot at your chest.
I don't know. Katie's a toughie. No, I'm gone.
And finally, a 12-foot impact after stumbling out of a window. Landing directly on your spine.
My spine's already fucked. She's long gone.
I was just sitting there, and it's just, if they want us to believe he's a dude, which clearly now they don't, but they did for the 1978 context, I was just like, I'm sorry. It's just, it's so goofy. Like, it's honestly kind of fun because
I like it. I think 1978 Halloween is like the perfect movie to have on in the background of like a Halloween party, because it's like fun enough for you to like tune into for a second and be like, oh, that's fun, you know what I mean? But like also but like not so stupid that people are like, why the fuck are you playing this? You know?
Yeah, I feel that. What I that is a good point actually. I watching it again and then watching the next one, which we'll talk about here in a second, I kind of realized if I were to throw on a movie on Halloween night, I wouldn't mind if it was this one. Like I wouldn't be upset because it's really fun, and I do like the characters that they do introduce to you. It is kind of fun to watch them die because some of them are really annoying, especially that Totally girl, the one that's like totally. Like she says it. They wrote it in the script just to piss me off because she says it so many times. Goes, totally. Like when he walks in with the ghost, like he's dressed up like a ghost. She goes, "This is totally stupid." Like, and I was like, "Please, totally die!" Like I was so annoyed.
It's like I like found myself rooting for Michael
at some points.
It's.
How do you feel about Jamie Lee Curtis' character in the first one? I mean, in the second one we get more of her, but I feel like she's just there. Like I didn't really feel like there was much of a reason for us to root for her. Does that make sense? Like I didn't feel like I was like, we don't really know her besides the fact that she's a babysitter.
I think the reason that I root for Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween is because I think the first time I watched it, I was probably like 14 or whatever, right? And I was like, oh, I know this actress from fucking a Disney Channel movie, like Freaky Friday or something like that. Yeah. I was like, oh, I know her. And that's the reason that I rooted for that character. It's probably really stupid, but I think, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Mm-hmm. I think that's the reason I rooted for that character.
Yeah. See, but I was just watching it and I was like, oh my God, as far as like the only reason I care is because I don't want Jamie Lee Curtis to die. But I
Yeah.
don't really care about what's her name, Lori, the character overall, until we get into 2018, and then I was like,
2018.
oh,
And I'm like, yeah,
I fuck with
fuck
Lori.
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's also because like since this movie and like going forward to like Scream and stuff like that, I feel like we've been exposed to like the babysitter trope so many times since
Yeah.
then. So like I
And
feel
I
like
feel like it's
watching
been
this,
done better too.
I would also agree with that.
Yeah.
But I feel like watching this the first time, you'd be like, oh no, like she's in such a vulnerable position. Like, oh no, she's taking care.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I feel like I would have felt differently. Like if I was a teenager in 1978 seeing this movie, I would be like, oh, I really want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Well, my favorite thing in these types of horror films is that, see, when I was watching all the Friday the 13th, when I was younger, because I was an idiot, a lot of times Jason would kill people who are like riddled with sin. So I would always be like, oh my God, what if like the serial killer just kills people who does like bad stuff? And like, it kind of fits in this movie because everybody who smokes willingly, besides Jamie Lee, like she smokes once, but she takes one hit and she's like, it's not for me. Like, I can't do it. And then, but the totally girl has sex. That's a sin. And then her friend is getting ready to have sex, which is a sin. That's lust. And she smokes a cigarette and she leaves the baby with Lori. She dies as well. And oh my God, I will give the movie this. The deaths are actually like pretty, like it's fun to watch some of them.
I think they really hold up. I really do believe that.
Yeah. Like when he's just choking her from behind the scenes, she's like, no. I mean, some of the acting when she's getting choked is like kind of stupid where she's like, like she does make she makes the choking face. And I'm like, okay, well, come on. But
the choking face.
But I do like the deaths in this. Like I think I think it's genuinely scary at some points. There's like the moment in the kitchen where the dude goes down. Like I was like, oh, this is gonna be stupid. I know he's gonna come out of nowhere. I don't know why I keep falling for this jump scare thing, but it still works on me, even though I know the jump scare is coming. Like, I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, the jump scare is coming. I can feel it. Like it's about to happen. And then I'm like, I still feel the like an adrenaline surge. I don't know. I'm an idiot. But
no, that's okay. Also, if you like seeing serial killers kill people who have sinned, there's this great franchise I should recommend to you. It's called Saw. Okay.
Hey, Jigsaw's not a serial killer.
Sorry, he doesn't kill them.
He doesn't kill them. They kill themselves.
He's never killed somebody.
Oh, what a crazy person. Okay. Do you have anything else you'd like to add about Halloween 1978, Katie?
I don't know. Iconic score. I think it's a fun time.
Yeah, it is.
It's not a fun time. It's not a movie to sit down and seriously analyze. It really...
I feel like it sometimes wants it to be.
It really wants... It has this like weird thing of like... I don't know how I would feel about it if I was seeing it, like thinking down, like sitting to this movie, and I was like, I'm going to sit here and watch this very serious, scary movie, you know? But like now being alive in 2021 and being like, oh, this is fun. I love knowing where all of my favorite tropes come from and stuff like that. It's a fun time, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it is a good time. Surprisingly, because I actually didn't like it before I rewatched it, so I'm glad.
Actually, addendum. I think it's really fun if you're familiar and you really love the horror genre. If this is like your first if this is your first foray into horror, I think you're gonna be like thrown off.
No, start with something actually like
tonality.
Terrifying, like Conjuring or It or something.
Yeah. But if you like horror and you love the genre, I really think this is worth watching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, all right. Let's move into Halloween 2018.
Smooth transition.
Yeah, thank you. I fucking love this movie, Katie. I really like this movie.
Great time.
It's so good, and I'm shocked that it's so good. I love the way that Michael. First of all, his mask is 10,000 times better. It's shot okay. It's not really about being like how it's made. It's really just about like kind of trying to scare you. And there are moments in this film that I wish had been in the first one. I feel like they were kind of half-assedly. It's the way that like they make. Well, first of all, Michael's stalking his back, but he's like stalking in people's houses and like around them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he's watching the kid through the closet, or he's like doing this, and then when he kills them, there's like always this like moment where he like kind of like half-ass just takes it in like and like soaks in the moment of him killing people,
Mhm.
and it makes the kills so much better because it's like actually scary. Like you're like, oh my god, this dude's fucking crazy. Like he's not just like he's not just this dude running around killing people and then it's willy-nilly. Like he's killing people and then like thinking about it and enjoying it. Like that's fucking nuts. And I love that they added that. And then they completely just I'm trying so hard to bite my tongue right now because I don't want to talk about Halloween Kills, but they throw it away in the new one. Like they just but what do you think about Halloween 2018?
Look, when I saw it first time, really liked it. When I saw it when I watched it again a couple days ago, I mean, obviously there's stuff you lose seeing it again. There's a couple things that like jumped out at me that I really didn't like, but I think Michael looks great, great shape. Yeah. Like, because presumably he's pretty old at this point, but like you can like he also like for somebody who's super slow, like picked up pace. He's still in shape. He's able to choke the shit out of people.
I know he was like, hitting the gym at the asylum, like.
No, I'm like, damn. So like seeing all these asylum people out on the road, I'm like, Michael. You know, it's like all the No, I think his mask looks fantastic. I love like the tone of this movie because I feel like it knew it wanted to be a blockbuster. You know what I mean? And but not in a way that it was just throwing itself away for cheap scares, in a way that I feel like actually progressed the plot of the franchise. Which was thrilling because Halloween, like which one is it? Halloween 3 that just literally has nothing to do with
Paul Rudd in it, doesn't it?
With Michael. Oh God, I can't remember. It's been a couple of years since I've seen it, but it has nothing to do with Michael Myers. Nothing. So it's just this whole like, what? And then like, what is it? H2O, Halloween H2O, which is just like horrifically stupid. And so like we're getting back to this, and what I really like about Halloween 2018. And I was like watching a video about it the other day that I was like didn't realize, but like they have a bunch of like shot for shot recreations of the original movie, because it like essentially skipped over all of the sequels and it's just a direct sequel to 1978.
Yeah.
So what I didn't realize, it really worked for me, and they have
there's
like
so many homages, is what you're saying, right?
So many, because like when the teenage girl whose name I forget, she's
in the classroom. Yes,
in the classroom, and she's out the window, and I'm like, oh my god, because like even having only seen that movie a couple times, I like instantly recognized it. You know what I mean? So it still had the Michael was like, it's still the same relationship, you know, the same antagonistic relationship. And I liked that, and I liked that there was already an established fear of Michael, because one of those things I don't like in horror movies is that we have to get through the whole, like, they don't believe me thing, you know what I mean? And, like, trying to prove it to everybody.
Everybody was just like, no, he killed people a long time ago.
Yeah. So I like skipping that and, like, getting straight to it. I love the, like, plot twist in this movie.
With the psychiatrist or the doctor?
Yeah. It worked for me. Yeah, I liked it. It wasn't shocking,
like,
but I liked it.
That's interesting. And then you killed the dude, and I was like...
I know, and then it just immediately fizzled out because they're like, you're dead. And I was like...
Yeah, well, no, it's not... Okay, but come on. His kill, where he, like, stamps on his head. The kills in this movie are so fantastic. Clean, too.
Are really, really good.
And so imaginative, like, when he stomps on his head and it just goes... like, Michael's swole. You know how hard you have to smash somebody's head in for it to turn into a pumpkin? Like,
I know, Michael's like...
Michael's been hitting the gym. You got gains. But please stop. But he...
said, oh no, Michael, don't choke me.
When he does the, oh my god, like when he you're speaking of homages is what I'll get back to and try to avoid that, is when he stabs the dude and he sticks to the wall this time, but it kind of makes sense because he stuck him in the neck and not in the stomach. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he stuck to the wall and it's in his neck, so you're like, oh, that's why his body's straight. Whereas in 1978, he stuck him.
Why is he not slumped over?
Why is he not? Yeah, he was just straight up and down, like he died like a pencil. Like I was like, okay, this doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't know. I really enjoy it. I like this one a lot. I think there are.
It's great because I'm rooting so hard for Jamie Lee Curtis. Like I'm really I don't know. Like even though the movie takes itself seriously to a point, Jamie Lee Curtis takes this character so seriously.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, but not to a point where I think it's goofy. Like, I really like Jamie Lee Curtis in these movies.
Well,
I really
see,
do.
the thing with it is like I believe everybody in this movie. Like every single person in this movie, I'm like, no, this makes sense. Like the daughter doesn't want to be around her mom because her mom is like the way she is because she's paranoid about, everything. And then the granddaughter wants to be around the grandma, but the mom, like everything made sense, right? Like I was like, oh, like this connects to here, this connects to here, and this connects to here. And you believe all the relationships because it doesn't make sense for them. It doesn't not make sense. So I really appreciated that. And the dead people in this movie, the kills in this film are just so fucking entertaining. And they're actually scary. Like when she goes, it's like Jamie Lee Curtis's friend, I think, and she's looking at the blinds. And she like Jamie just gets on the phone and like at first we see him like looking in the mirror and just like staring through the blinds. And then he walks around back and you can see her come up and look through the blinds and he just grabs it and just stabs the knife right through her neck. Dude, come on, that's so cool. Like,
I wouldn't say it was scary, but I liked it.
What's scary to me is when he's like watching people. Or it's not really like scary, but it's like this feeling of like, ooh, like, you know what I'm saying? Like what they capture really well is I wouldn't want to die like this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. This is really not the way that I would want to go is what I think they capture. But what you said there's a few things you noticed the second time watching you didn't like.
Yeah, I did not like it. So first of all, I love her little bunker, right? And how she has like this whole room underneath the kitchen and this like whole plan. Like she's been thinking about it for years. Normally I'd be like, that's kitschy. I like it in this time actually, right? Yeah. I don't like seeing the flames like from above and like the shot where we're watching them watch him burn from above. That's the part where it starts to lose me. And I'm like,
they look cheesy or something, or
because I'm like, why are you still there?
There are a couple moments like that. There really are a couple moments where
there really are. Because I'm like, why haven't you, like, at this point, like, she knows, like, because she acknowledges he's here to get me. You know what I mean? Yeah. She's like, he wants me. Yeah. So you've trapped him. You've set him on fire. Why are you? Also, you set it on fire. Why are you standing there next to this open flame? Yeah. Like, what?
It's I don't understand it all. And in the one part that I noticed, I was like, this is fucking stupid, is when, okay, so Michael's in the back of the police car with Lori's granddaughter, right? Which I don't remember the name of.
I don't know her name. Yeah,
I don't know her name either. But
let's call her Missy.
Yeah, Missy. Missy, the Lori's granddaughter, is in the back of the cop car with Michael. And Michael kills the psychiatrist he doesn't kill him that way, but he kicks the police car thing forward because he's got big gains, and he breaks the seat and like basically slams the psychiatrist's head over against the wheel over and over again. And then Michael pulls the psychiatrist out of the car, and Missy's like, oh my God, now's my chance to get away. And she gets out of the car, and instead of getting in the police car and driving away, she gets out of the police car and goes into the woods.
It's like it's literally like that commercial, you know, that commercial where they're making fun of the horror movies and far off, like, and they're like let's go, and they're like, wait, what if we went to the basement where all the axes are?
Well, he's like, why don't we get in a running car? And the dude's like, no, let's go hide in the garage full of chainsaws. Like, it's so fucking stupid. Like, I'm like, oh my God. Go ahead.
It's catchy. No, I also just wanted to acknowledge, why did Missy need a love interest in this movie?
So he could be in the sequel.
Well, also, what was it? What is the name of the good guy? The good guy who's like trying to woo her and like gets killed in the backyard.
I don't know. Fucking dude who dies and they expect us to care in the second one.
The one who looked like that guy I had a crush on and
like low-key tried to put himself, was like really putting himself onto her. Yeah, he kind of looks like the actor who plays Foggy Nelson. He sounds exactly like the actor. I know you haven't seen this show.
You're literally no, but like the person I saw Halloween Kills with literally said the same thing.
Foggy Nelson from Daredevil. He like sounds exactly like him, and he looks like him a little bit.
Mm-hmm. He's cute.
But
I liked his kill though.
You know, I did like his kill.
It was
His
great.
kill is pretty sweet. And that's the only part of the movie that genuinely terrified me. Is when like the lights are going out, which it is kind of stupid because you're like, well, why are the lights going
Favorite scene.
out? Yeah, it was like
His kill is great.
It was kind of dumb because I was like, well, the motion sensor lights were on for so long before then. And now that Michael wants to kill him, it's like the motion sensor lights turn on.
It's convenience.
Yeah, it is convenience. It is super convenient. And I was like, interesting. But no, that death is really cool. He just like sticks him on the.
Yep.
The deaths in this movie are so good. And the babysitter death, like with the kid, I've never really experienced this before. That was the first time in any like slasher film where like someone died and I like genuinely felt a bit of empathy because the way she was, I don't know if it was the actress or just the script in general, but the way she was like pleading for her life, where she was like, no, and like he's just like, it's the only time I've ever been like, oh, like poor girl, like because she was just a cool babysitter and he just wanted to kill her like for no reason.
But in the original, you're like, Jamie Lee Curtis can go suck my.
I was like, I don't know Jamie Lee Curtis at all, but we got like a hint of her personality before she died. And
I will say that's not to jump ahead, but that is what I liked about Halloween Kills. That like a lot of the kills were like, even in like the 30 seconds that I saw the characters, I like immediately liked them. You didn't?
I can't stand. We'll talk about it. And it sucks too because I really wanted to like that movie. Yeah.
What I'm saying is I had empathy for a lot of the characters.
I'm glad you did. Do you have anything else you'd like to add about Halloween 2018, Katie?
I think it's a fun time. You'll get a lot out of it if you watch the original Halloween first.
I agree. And I love the homages. Like there are several. And this is more of a complaint about the second one, but if you don't have anything else you'd like to add, we can move on.
No, go ahead. You're literally dying. You're like itching in your jockstrap to get to Halloween Kills.
Let's talk about Halloween Kills, the franchise. I was so excited for this movie after I watched the 2018. I watched them practically all in the same day. And I watched 2018 and I was like, oh my God, this film is fantastic. And then I'm sitting in the theater with Olivia, my girlfriend, and we're sitting there. And it's quite possibly one of the dumbest movies I've ever seen. I felt stupid for watching the movie. Like I left the theater and I was like, I am a dumber person for having seen it. It was so bad, Katie. And it's not bad. Okay, let me preface this. I thought it was fun. I thought it was like, oh, this is a good time, but it doesn't move the franchise forward in any significant way.
It does nothing.
And it is utterly pointless, and it's so stupid. It's so dumb. It's the dumbest film I've ever seen. I genuinely think it's the dumbest film I've ever seen, and I've seen fucking Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Like, this movie is so stupid. Like, oh my God, it's so dumb. First of all, you have this stupid-ass side plot with this character that we've never met before, who's from an insane asylum that broke out of the bus from the first movie, but who fucking cares? This is a movie about Michael Myers and Jamie Lee Curtis, and she's stuck in a hospital with people we don't give a shit about for the entire movie. And then they introduce these.
And you know how much Jamie Lee Curtis we get? We get none. We get none of it.
She has 15 minutes of screen time, and all I could think was, oh my God, this has to be a COVID thing, right? Because like, there's no way it can be this mind-numbingly stupid unless it's like a COVID thing.
Well, there's that great part where she's having surgery. I can't believe she actually got surgery for this movie.
Yeah, you're right. The surgery scene's actually pretty tight. And I was like, it reminded me of Saw 4, like when they're cutting open Jigsaw. And you remember I said that was like my favorite part of that movie?
Yeah.
That scene was really cool because I was grabbing Olivia and I was like, ooh, I don't like seeing the inside of Jamie Lee Curtis. And like, it was really cool like watching like them make the incision.
Not that inside. Sheesh.
But... Ew, Katie, what the fuck? What the fuck? Fuck, Katie. God damn it. Besides that part, and a couple of the kills were cool.
There were some good kills, you have to admit.
Especially the boyfriend. That kill's so fun. And he's just banging him around.
It was awesome. I was having a fun time with that. I was like, he would not die. He would not die.
I thought he kept hitting something in his neck, like something was stabbing his neck. And I was like, why wasn't he dying? And then
I would have been dead on the first impact. Let me tell you that. This bitch kept breathing. But not to jump ahead, she could have stopped that. She could have run towards him. He takes his slow ass time to walk down the stairs. Look, this is my impression. He's walking down the stairs. 1 step. 2 step.
It really does take forever.
Okay, I'm going to grab his head now. She's like, no. And then he goes.
And then like Katie. She specifically says, "Let's go in together." They find out her dad, or they hear a gunshot in the house, and they're like, "Fuck it, let's go in." And instead of sticking together, she spends 20 minutes touching Big John, and grabbing a knife out of his stomach for no reason. And meanwhile, he's like, "Oh, no fucking deal. I'm just going to walk around the house. No need to stick together, even though that's literally what we said we were going to do in the first place. Let me go and walk by myself in a house where I know there's a serial killer." Oh, my God. And then he sees, oh, my God. It's so frustrating. I can't think about this movie without feeling like I'm losing IQ points. Like, it's so dumb. And I wanted to enjoy it so bad. I'm so upset that it wasn't for me. But is this how like the other Halloween films are? Is this like
the other ones just are low budget, it feels like. I mean, low budget, bad effects. This is just a different kind of bad because the issue I have with this is mostly like the writing and the performances and the direction, as opposed. Actually, the writing in most of the sequels are really bad. I'll say that.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. And
so, I don't know. I have
the direction. Did you not just like their
in this one?
Yeah.
I don't think it's direction, but there's just a bunch of random choices that I'm like, why? Like, why do we need the scene of them being like, Lonnie, weak and scrawny? Like, why did we need that? Why did we at the open mic night? Why did we need an ventriloquist?
Why did we need those characters? Why did we need them?
The ventriloquist is what got me, because they would like for those of you who haven't seen the movie yet, there's an open mic night, and there's this guy, and he tells the story of Michael Myers, right?
Also,
and
why
then
are you watching this if you haven't seen the movie? For those of you who haven't seen the movie, go away. Why are you here unless you don't care, I guess.
Okay, never mind. Well, so then the guy with the ventriloquist is like censoring the puppet, which is hilarious because he's the one saying the word and he censors. Yeah. But they use the same joke 3 times. They don't even change the bad word. It's the same bad word. It's shit, by the way.
Shit.
And it's literally like, it's so stupid. My first notes, literally in the first 30 seconds, the first thing I wrote down, the cop, once they killed him, I could see him breathing. They went over to look at his body. I could literally see him breathing. That's the first thing I wrote down. What?
Which cop is this?
Like in the first scene, like the first
who gets
flashback
shot in the
scene.
neck? Yeah, he's like.
But then he's laying on the ground and they run over to look at his body. You can see him breathing. Like his body is moving up and down. They're like, he's dead. And I'm like, what? Like, and it was like a half-second shot. It was a half-second shot, but like,
I thought anytime they flashed back in this movie, it immediately lost a sense of not credibility, but gravitas, I guess. What's the word for like authentic or seriousness?
It felt less of its own product.
When they flashed back, I was like, please stop. And this fucking Tommy Doyle character from the first Halloween, I get it. It's the kid from the first Halloween, but who gives a shit? Like, nobody watched the first Halloween and was like, oh, I love this fucking kid. Like, nobody was like, oh my God, this kid has such a great personality. Like, he runs away in a scene. That's all the kids.
They were like, oh my God, it's the original actor. Can you believe they brought him back 40 years? Yeah, because you know what he's done since then? Literally nothing. He's done literally nothing since then. I'm not shocked.
Think about Michael. Think about Michael. And the whole evil dies tonight thing. Oh, I can't stand evil
dies tonight. Evil dies tonight.
And I get it. It's a Blumhouse film. They're trying to because Blumhouse always does this where they
classic Blumhouse.
Well, yeah, they sneak. Blumhouse loves to do like a semi-political message in their films, And I understand it's like what a group of people can like make a person do, and like the dude jumping off the thing is like a metaphor, but whatever. But I don't give a shit about that character because the entire first movie wasn't about that character. If that was a plot that needed to happen, it shouldn't have happened in this sequel. I was like,
I just I literally just took so much issue with so many of the characters and the acting performances. But granted, before we get too far into this, don't you dare slander my boys, Big John and Little John, okay? Big John and Little John are the best characters in this movie, and here's why. It's the kind of representation that so many people want. Is like, it's a queer couple. It's never once mentioned. It's never once discussed, not in a line. It's just, they just exist, and that's it. And I loved it. And I thought they had such a cute dynamic scaring the kids out front. I really liked him. He's like knockoff James Spader.
I did enjoy the Big John, Little John thing. And I thought the joke where Big John grabs a little knife and Little John grabs a big knife.
That was a big knife. Cute.
That was kind of funny.
And how Big John is shorter than Little John. It's adorable.
That, I mean, this is how I felt when they died.
The classic choke from behind.
I don't
Classic
care.
Michael move.
I don't care that Big John and Little John died because, why would I? Like, why? The only people that I did care about when they died was the old people in the beginning.
The couple. They were cute. I liked them.
Really cute. And I thought that the movie did that well. I don't know why, for some reason, they chose to make me care about those characters. But I love like
what I think.
She's flying the little drone around the house, and then it's like an old dude, and he like tries to protect her half-assed. He's like, "Honey, there's somebody in the house. Like, call the police."
But you know what I liked about it though, and you know what I think I liked about it. They literally used all of their cursing up in this one scene because the guy's like, what the fuck, and I was like, and I'm like, yeah, that's the reaction that I would have if Michael was here. And like, they never, like, mostly because of like ratings and stuff like that, they never let, like, they're like, oh, it's egregious, you know what I mean? No, that's exactly how I would react. So seeing him like that, I was like, man, that sucks.
And come on, when Michael's like stabbing him on the table and she's just like watching it happen as she dies,
and I thought she was gonna get to live, and
I was like, oh, I was so sad. I was like,
bro, he really said one knife, two knife.
Motherfucker was playing double whammy over there. He was like,
yeah, he literally put like 6 knives.
I love that he just kept going back and he grabbed another one. And
but he was so calm too.
Yeah. Michael's choice as an actor.
Great. Judy Greer bothered me a little bit in this one.
Is that the daughter?
Yeah. She bothered me a little bit in this, especially like, what is the scene where she's trying to convince Missy not to go with them, and then she's like, but Dad just died, and like, I couldn't tell what her need was. Like, are you upset that your husband is dead? Are you trying to convince?
The script for her is so.
I know, but it was like, but her responses were just, and I think a lot of it was the writing, but her responses had nothing to do with it. I'm like, are you trying to convince your daughter to stay? Is that your need?
Yeah, that's true.
Or are you, like, I was just confused about what that character wanted. And I really do think it is the writing, but it bothered me and it made me dislike the character.
And I think my main problem with this movie is that for the most part, Halloween 2018 was a story about Jamie Lee Curtis, her family, and Michael. And, Jamie Lee Curtis isn't in a lot of Halloween 2018. Like, she's in some of the movie, but of course we take time and we go and we focus on Michael killing people because it's Halloween. People want to see them. And he focuses a lot on killing Jamie's friends a lot of times.
Yeah.
Like, he focuses a lot on that. And so you feel like it's this personal relationship where she's like the one who got away. And you're like, oh, like he wants to kill the one who got away because that makes sense. Like, this was the girl who lived across from him. This is the girl he stalked in the entire first movie. And she didn't get to, she's like, that never happened. Like, that didn't came to fruition. He's probably been brewing on that forever. And she's also the one who likely put him away. But in this movie, they sidetrack that and focus on something less interesting and then tell us, actually, Michael doesn't give a shit about Jamie Lee Curtis's character at all. So
Jamie Lee character.
Jamie Lee Curtis's character.
Jamie Lee character.
Michael doesn't give a shit about Jamie Lee character at all. And
no, or Jamie Lee character daughter.
Yeah,
Missy,
or anyone at all. And it's just you took something that had like each character had a personal vendetta against each other, and there was the possibility that each of these characters has had this buildup for 40 years, like thinking about each other and wanting to kill each other. And then she gets to kill Michael, and it's fine that he comes back. I was totally cool with that, and I actually think that scene with the firefighters is pretty fucking dope.
Great, I like that.
Cool. Yeah, and in the trailers, I was like, that looks really cheesy. I hope it's not bad. And then we got into the movie, and I was like, actually, it looks pretty dope, and I kind of believed it.
There were only a couple of really cheesy moments in this that just bothered the shit out of me. One of them, my big cinema sin of this movie. Well, there's like two. This is for Dr. Loomis. Literally ended me. I literally laughed out loud in the theater. I was like, what?
There were moments that I laughed where I definitely wasn't supposed to too. Like
I laughed a couple times.
Every time one of the characters looked kind of almost into frame and then looked dead at it and was like, I'm the one who's going to kill Michael. like they all wanted to kill Michael, and nobody does.
Nobody did. Nobody got close.
Michael, it has to be me.
No, I will say one good thing I really liked about the latter half of this movie. I liked seeing the inmate who went squish squish on the ground. I loved that shot. It looked good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They do the kills still. They still do the kills pretty good.
The effects looked really good. A lot of them seem to be practical. So I was like,
they do the kills really well. My problem with this movie isn't the kills at all. My problem with the movie is the narrative that they chose to choose, and they stray away from the relationship between what I thought was really interesting in the first one. They stray away from that in this one, and that really bothered me. And I can't forgive it for it. Like the movie.
Well, I was with it, and then the last 3 minutes, just here was my graph of the movie, and then here's the last 3 minutes. It literally it could have. I know you're so sauced on this, so I'm gonna let you go off on your soapbox on this. But it juiced me, because And it has this major. There was no denouement to this movie. It literally gets to this point. And they're like, okay, now one important thing is going to happen. It doesn't happen for any reason, but it happens. And now we're going to immediately end the movie. And then Michael ascends to this, more than a human.
He's immortal. He's
and I'm like, why are we introducing this now? This has been around for 40 years. Why is he supernatural? Why is he ascending to this more than it just doesn't, where's the motivation? Did they think it was going to be a huge thing? What was the motivation behind this? It made no sense. Babu Frick does not get it.
Hello, I'm Babu Frick.
Not copyright, please. No copyright. That is not Babu Frick.
Sorry, that's Fafu Rick.
That's Babu Rick.
That's Fafu Rick.
The ending of this movie, Katie, does several things wrong. Number one,
there's more than a few.
Okay. Theoretically, I will give it this before I get into my problem with it. No, I'll get into the problem first. It's so fucking stupid. I can't. It does the classic horror movie thing where instead of being like, oh, this is the end of the movie, it's like, no, this isn't the end of the movie. The villain comes back, he's still alive, and he kills someone that you know. It's so annoying. I hate it when horror movies do that. Please just finish the movie. Just finish the movie. The Grudge in 2020 did it, where it's like, haha, they're not actually dead. I can't stand it. Please finish the fucking movie. It's fine if you want to throw in a post-credit scene and be like, oh, maybe they're still around. Yeah. Or if the movie just ended before she stabbed the knife in his neck, and she was just like, I'll let y'all go, right? And then the movie ends on a pan out with her and her daughter. Perfect end of the film, right? And then in the next one, they can just start it with Michael killing everybody there. But no, they chose to show us in this movie Michael turning into an ethereal being where he literally can't die. And now there's no stakes. There's no stakes because guess what? He can't lose. It's not a situation where he can lose. They're like, he's feeding on fear, but no one there is as scared of Michael. So why? They're all there to kick his ass and kill him. None of them are like, oh my God, I'm so scared until he starts.
It's like a reverse Pennywise.
that's literally what it is, except it's like it's like Pennywise. Exactly. She's like, he feeds on fear, right?
It's like the opposite.
As long as he's feared, he'll still be alive. But he gets off the ground with a knife in his neck when they're all not scared of him. So why is he still alive?
Is he still alive? Yeah. It's like also, so they're all there. Weapons ready. They're abreast. They're standing at the ready. They're like, wait. Let's wait for him to put his mask back on. This slow motherfucker goes, what? Why are they waiting?
They have guns, they have knives, they have bats, and they're just like, no, let him put it.
They're like, you know what? Let's give him a little bit of power. You know, we want this to be a fair fight.
Oh, I can't stand it. And they choose to kill the daughter in the last 5 minutes for no apparent reason whatsoever. And what I will give it, what I was going to say originally at the top, but I cannot stress enough how much it bothered me. So I couldn't say a positive before the negative. The positive, if they're going to have another one, it sets up an interesting story, because now Jamie Lee Curtis has more personal vendetta against Michael, but it doesn't matter because she's not going to win unless they make him like, they're like, oh, now you have to sacrifice part of his body. The interesting part about 1978 and 2018 is that we can tell Michael's mortal. One of my favorite parts of 2018 is when his hand is sticking through out through the door, and she grabs the shotgun and blows it off. And in this movie, you can say it has an effect on him. It had an effect on him. So why does that have an effect on him, but him being stabbed in the neck doesn't? I can't stand it.
I wish I had an answer for you, buddy. I really wish I did. It's confusing because it's like I feel like they're building up. So there's a third, right? I feel like they're building it up to this. So there's this new, this 21st century trilogy, right? And then because what we want to see is Jamie Lee Curtis killing him. But I feel now that's not going to happen, or they're just going to bring him back. And then what was the point of all of this?
Or now they have to write a whole story to explain how it's happening. Here's a more interesting plot for me. Michael, and I hate doing this. I hate being like, oh, would I rather have seen this? Because I would rather just talk about what is. But you can't help think about if they were going to kill the daughter, why didn't they do it like this? Michael's just trying to go and get Jamie Lee Curtis, but now she's in the hospital. He's on a killing streak to get to her. He kills everybody in the hospital. Jamie Lee Curtis finds out, and he kills her daughter right in front of her. And she can't help it because he stabbed her in the last movie, and she's just had a surgery. She has to watch. She can't do anything about what she's wanted to do. But
that would have been so good.
I know, it would have been crazy. And then it sets up the finale, where you're like, oh my God, it's Jamie Lee Curtis versus Michael. That's it. And I think the next one, they've already named it. It's Halloween Ends. So, I mean, that's cool. I like that name. But
maybe it's going to be everybody hates the middle one. People seem to hate Last Jedi, and then it redeems itself with the director of the last movie in this trilogy, trying to work around the issues or something.
Now they have to be like Michael's supernatural being or something. And I feel like it's so run into the ground. You know what I'm saying? That's basically the same thing as Candyman.
Now it's no longer a slasher movie. Now it's
well, I feel I feel like we used to have stakes for Michael too. I used to be like, oh, he's a dude running around, and he can die. It is possible for him to die. Yeah. And maybe the officer, when he shot him in the first movie, just shot all the non-vital organs when he shot him 6 times in the chest, and he just magically made that because he goes right to, in this, they pick up in 2018, he's at the psychiatrist, so maybe they caught him bleeding out and were able to get him to the hospital. That's semi-believable.
You can rationalize all you want. What you cannot rationalize is watching him go through getting hit and then on top of that stabbed in the neck.
Yeah. The stab in the neck was the final blow, where it was he has to be dead, otherwise there's something else going on.
Yeah, because he can't breathe.
You're right. And I was interested I thought it was kind of interesting what they were doing, where they were he's looking out his window, but he's actually just looking at himself. That's cool, I guess. But I couldn't care less in the moment because, oh my God, this pissed me off too. Katie?
What?
He kills everybody in the street. totally fine. I get it. It's Michael. And even though I hate that scene, I think the effects are cool. And he kills the Bobby Doyle half-ass redneck character. So I was like, I don't really care. Like,
I don't give a shit about that character. I really
know,
never
and,
did.
like, they really wanted us to. Like, they kept being like, "Oh, care about Bobby Doyle."
Evil
I was like,
dies tonight.
"Yeah, evil dies tonight. I'm gonna kill Michael."
I'm gonna kill Michael.
And this stupid subplot with the sheriff where he's like, "I shot my friend," which is fine. I know that's a Blumhouse thing too, because they're trying to be like, cops just get away with whatever they want. And it's like,
yeah. Oh yeah. Why did we need to see the flaws in the American police system? Why did we need that whole scene of them trying to cover up him shooting his friend? Why did we need that?
It's not even that. I mean, that's
fine.
It's like, that's fine. It's a Blumhouse film. Like, they want to do stuff like that, and I
know.
appreciate that in your art, but it has to be delivered well. And I don't
It's
feel
not
like they
art.
were
This is not
executing
art.
it well because it doesn't really matter to the story, right?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, you could just be like, I mean,
It didn't affect anything.
that could be any other dude. And I don't even remember the police officer's name. I don't even know the police officer's name that shot him. I don't even know.
Mr. Popo and Mr. Popo too.
Exactly. I like that actor. And then it's revealed that he's actually her dad. Like, and it's like this odd thing where it's like, do you remember that night in 19 whatever where we might have had sex and now I have a child? That was you know what I'm saying?
I was literally like, also, why was he there? Was that
Also,
something I forgot?
And it was the most frustrating thing ever that he survived that, because they tried to play it off like the psychiatrist stabbed him in the neck once, but that dude went in for multiple swings. Like,
I know. I was like, am I nuts for remembering?
Kills him. He's dead.
Yeah, I was like, am I nuts to think, why did he survive that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Especially if it wasn't necessary. Like, Jamie Lee Curtis doesn't matter in this movie. She doesn't make any difference.
She's given no screen time. And that's the reason I wanted to like
her character doesn't affect the story. I mean, like, besides the fact that she's like, I want to kill Michael, and she stabs morphine into her stomach and is like, it makes the pain go away, but clearly not, because she almost bleeds out on the floor. Like,
also, I'm sorry. Now here's a flaw in this movie, right? I get you're trying to stop them. You could have done anything. You could have punched him. Just your arm, no core strength. You could have done anything, but no, you had to specifically knee him and contract your abdominal muscles. The one thing you're not supposed to do. She could have just slapped him. That's something you can do with no core strength, you know?
Well, it's not even that. It's like, if you're going to add the morphine line in there, why is she even experiencing this pain? Because that line felt like it was there so we could believe that Jamie Lee Curtis could do whatever she was going to do, right?
No.
Like,
also, I wish they committed. You know, I wanted, like, if it really popped, I want to see her fucking stomach popped open.
I wish it was about her. I wish it was about Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, I don't care about.
I know you really like Jamie Lee Curtis.
I don't. It's not that I care about Jamie Lee Curtis. It's that the whole first movie was basically revolving around her and the showdown between her and Michael.
Yeah.
And it doesn't.
And then this movie's about the town actually all hates him because they've actually all had an individual experience 40 years ago as children, and they didn't remember it or think to do anything about it until right now.
Everything you just said makes me want to die. If everybody felt that way, why weren't they like, oh, put him to death, like, instead of taking him to the new prison, put him to death, put him down, kill him. But no, I can't. I
don't know. It made no sense.
I thought it was a fun film. Like, I had a good time. But
I had a good time too.
I had a good time only because I could enjoy the kills, and Lil Jon and Big John were kind of funny. And I will give it this. When they're killing the boyfriend, that's really impressive.
Great.
And like when he's breaking in the neck over and over again, I love that. When he's just slamming him around, he's like dragging him. It's like it's breaking his neck over and over. I love that. I thought that was so much fun. But the ending to this film just feels like a total disregard for anything that the first movie tried to set up. It doesn't care. And it wants to become just another slasher film, when I thought that the first one was actually a little bit something. It was a slasher and something more.
Yeah. It doesn't want legs anymore. And I thought maybe this wanted to be its own thing and stand alone and finish this story strong. No, they just want to continue to build this franchise, and that's just a little disappointing.
Well, I mean, that's fine. Like, you can continue to build this franchise and not just completely throw away anything that the other movies set up. Like,
yeah.
oh man, I hate.
I think the writing team. The writing team is what disappointed me.
It just,
in this
it's just not. I hate feeling this way about movies. Like, I want to like this so bad, and there are parts of it I do, but I was just so disappointed. I was really disappointed. I'm really upset I was disappointed.
I love Big John and Little John. My final thoughts: Big John, Little John, rest in peace.
Yeah.
We love you. I would say watch this movie if you I don't know. I can't really endorse this.
Yeah.
I can't endorse this. I can't
you want to see
rationalize.
some cool effects, like gore effects.
I was gonna say watch it at home. I would not watch this at home. I would check out so fast if I was watching this at home. That's the issue. Is I would have lost interest so soon into this movie.
I would throw it. So did you liked it, but you didn't like it like it was like cinema, right? You enjoyed it a little bit.
I enjoyed it, but for me, if I'm watching a horror movie at home, I have a really hard time engaging unless I'm really invested in the characters.
What would you say made you enjoy
or
it?
the concept?
Like, this is the standout moment where I'm like, I enjoyed it because of this.
Oh,
You just thought it was like a good, like fun to watch.
I would not say it was good. I did not think this was good.
I know, but you thought it was fun to watch. Like, you were like, oh, this is,
I thought it was fun to watch. I also just had a weird experience in the theater where there was this group of like 15 teenagers, and like halfway through the movie, they were just like talking, and I got turned on and I yelled, "Can you shut the fuck up?" And it was like great because I never get to be mean to people because like I always feel bad, but like it was a time in my life where I get so I don't know.
I feel like a lot of people have forgotten how to act in theaters because of like COVID. Like, they've come back and they've been like, oh, we can just talk in the movie now.
Yeah.
No. And
so I had a great time.
Somebody turned on their phone, like their flashlight, in the middle of my viewing. And then a dude was like, bro, turn your phone off, idiot.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank you. I was like, thank you so much.
Yeah.
It was so distracting.
And then after I said the first time, I was like, can you please shut up? And then they were quiet. And then halfway through the movie, like right when the boyfriend was dying, they were just having conversations, full like yelling conversations unrelated to this. And then somebody's like, shut the fuck up. And then two other people were like, yeah, shut up. And I was like, shut the fuck up. And like, we just like all banded together as a theater.
Did you get the
We
stink
ganged
eye
up.
on your way out?
No, they ran out. They knew. So anyways, it was I enjoyed. It's a movie, so that's the thing. I have a hard time watching horror movies at home if I'm not really invested in the characters or the premise of it, right? So take that as you will.
Mm-hmm.
Just put it in a box. So I guess what made me enjoy this is it reminded me of going to watch the Ouija films about halfway through.
Yeah.
In that I realized about halfway through I was not going to like this movie.
So you made the most of it?
So I was just like, fuck it. Like, it's not going to be great, and that's okay. So I was just watching for the kills mostly at that point, and I was kind of rooting for Michael. Because I was like, damn, if Jamie Lee Curtis is just going to stay in the hospital, then I have nobody else to root for.
Yeah.
So I just kind of gave up. I watched for the kills, and I watched it like I would watch a horror movie in high school for the second half, because I realized it was not going to have the substance or the plot advancement that I cared about.
Yeah, it just it doesn't advance the franchise, in my opinion, at all. And that's a bummer. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a fun time. Like, it's not horrible to watch, but it's just not.
Yeah, it's not. Again, it's not horrible. Like, if you're planning on going
fun
to see it in
to watch
theaters,
people, somebody kill somebody. Like, in the context of a horror film, it's not fun to watch somebody die. But in the context of a horror film,
sorry, yeah.
to
clarify,
it's in the context of a horror film. Watching people die, I would give it like a 7.5, 8 like enjoyment.
And two of those points are from the
context
boyfriend.
of a movie that I like cared about, like where I cared about the characters and wanted to see the story progress. I give it like a 3.4.
Yeah, I was gonna say give it a 2. Give it a 1.
Yeah, it's not. So if you're going in looking for a sequel to 2018, I wouldn't go in looking for a fun time, because it's really not.
It's a horror blockbuster. This. I understand it's the Halloween franchise. This feels like I don't know if this makes sense to anybody watching this, but it feels like a June horror movie. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like a summer horror film.
It really feels like a summer horror film.
I just feel like they took a step back into like Halloween 2018 was like, we're going to start fresh and continue kind of the first movie. And then I feel like this one, even though I haven't seen them, would it be right to say this is like a step backward back into the other vein? Yeah.
I mean, the Halloween sequels are really, really, really bad. Wow. But again, it's different bad.
Yeah.
Because anyways.
Yeah. All right. Well, I was just what would you, if you had a favorite part, what would you say it was?
Kill the boyfriend. The twist of the neck, that was great.
Yeah, it wasn't Big John and Little John?
No, actually, my favorite part was Big John, Little John. Yeah, I loved them. They were so cute. Just adorable. I also, my favorite part's got to be the elderly couple at the beginning. I will say the one redeeming quality of this movie is that the first I know it's not. It's just the two couples that were killed.
Yeah.
They had like 3 to 4 lines of dialogue before Michael entered, but immediately in those few lines of dialogue, I was like, "Oh, I like you."
No, yeah, and I like the drone thing.
It was weird.
Like, you can instantly relate to her because she's like having fun with something you would enjoy.
You
know what I'm saying? So it's like,
it's weird.
In common. Like I would like for you to live or be around, but no,
it's weird because like, why are the side characters so likable, but the main characters we're supposed to root for? It's like I don't give a shit about this. Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. I liked that a lot. I liked some of the side characters. Yeah.
If I had a favorite part, I think it'd probably be the boy. It's just honestly the same as yours, except I don't think I liked Big John and Little John. Well, I didn't think they were like stand out. Like I thought they were just okay.
I mean, I'm not going to remember them next week.
It's not that I didn't care. I thought they were fun, but I wasn't like, oh my God. But I really, for some reason, like the way you had to watch, like her watching her husband. And you could feel they had history, right? Like you could feel they knew each other for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just really hit me. I was like, I kind of feel bad. Like
I know.
Not like it was in the first movie with the babysitter where I was like, damn it, man. Like that really sucks. But
they just had a really strong relationship.
Yeah.
And like those were good actors. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I believed them. And I thought they were good. And the same with boyfriend thing. That was crazy. That was like the best kill of the movie. Well, not only that, when he's like picking him up and just fucking banging him around and shit. And then he just fucking grabs his neck. Like, he does that. That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine that same energy. Like, he was looking at her and he like grabbed her boyfriend and like broke his neck because he was like, fuck you. I'm doing this to fuck with you before I kill you. Imagine that same energy, but he kills the daughter in front of Jamie Lee Curtis.
Would have been way better.
And
heard it here first, folks.
Imagine if the movie half-ass focused on their relationship, so you felt really bad watching her die that horrific.
I know.
Like I didn't give a shit when the boyfriend died.
Dylan Strickland at Dylan Reviews for all of your movie revision needs.
No, I hate doing this. But God damn it, that sounds so much more interesting to me.
It would be way more interesting.
I like
because there's more investment there. And there just was not investment for most of these side characters.
Like if Jamie Lee Curtis couldn't move and she just like had to sit there and watch it. Like, I don't know. And then the movie end. Like that would be a good ending. Because then it's like
that'd be a great ending.
Yeah. I don't
As opposed to her narrating, he comes back.
I hate doing that. I'm sorry for
He's
doing
more
that.
than a man.
Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna kill Michael. It's gonna be me.
I'm gonna kill. This is for Dr. Loomis.
Dr. Loomis, who nobody fucking remember.
And he's like, would Michael kill again? Did Michael kill again?
Did Michael kill again? It's like, bro.
Sorry, what is his accent? It's vaguely Western European. What?
Yeah, I don't fucking know, dude.
I don't know.
God. Whatever. What do you think about potential sequels, Katie?
Potential sequels. They're gonna definitely make a sequel to this. Probably will come out in 2 years at the same time next Halloween.
Would you want to see it?
I mean, you're gonna make me review it, so probably.
That is true. But if they do make a sequel, I mean, but do you want to do it?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's also, I've spent so much time with this, not so much time. Since I've seen the movies coming before it, I will see the next Halloween. However, if I did not have an unlimited movie subscription, I would not go out of my way to see it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I would catch it at home if I even really wanted to, and maybe I would just watch it like on Halloween. Like
Streaming on
it would,
Peacock, right?
yeah, it is on Peacock Premiere, the like highest tier. So you have to like pay the subscription service. But if I was going to watch it, which I don't know, I would, but
I'd watch it with you.
I would watch it. Yeah, I would watch it with my friends on Halloween. Like it wouldn't
Yeah.
be like I wouldn't go out of my way if I wasn't going to talk about it because I enjoy talking about movies. Like
Yeah.
it just I was so let down by this one, and unless the trailer really impressed me, I wouldn't like this movie. It didn't kill it. There's still potential because he did kill our daughter.
Really? Halloween kills? Halloween does not kill. Can you edit that to be the thumbnail of this video?
Halloween lives. Halloween runs or something. I don't know.
Halloween kills, not.
Oh fuck. Halloween kills my enjoyment. Like I don't know. Like oh god.
Halloween buzz kills.
Halloween buzz kills. That's awesome. Yeah. No, I super disappointed. It's a fun movie, but it's really just not what it's not.
Will I watch it? The thing is, there's no rewatchability in this.
Never watch it
None.
again. Unless
Never
I'm
watch it
getting
again.
ready for the sequel. I'll never watch this again. Like
Yeah.
if I'm getting ready for Halloween Ends, or if that's what it's called, then I'll probably just watch it, or I might not even watch it again
Because I'll just rewatch us reviewing it right now.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying is I could watch a 10-minute recap, or like, you know what I'm saying, like because
I'll watch the recap of it, and here's what I'll remember. I'll remember Big John, Little John. This is for Dr. Loomis, and I'll remember the last 5 minutes, and I'll remember the boyfriend kill.
But where do you think they go with the sequel? You think maybe a showdown between Michael and Jamie?
Yep, I think that's exactly where it's going. And the thing is, I don't know if they're going to continue to keep it on this night.
Do you think they jump forward a year? I think they'll jump forward a year because they can.
Look, both her daughter and her son-in-law have died in the past 24 hours. So,
well, she didn't like the son-in-law. Remember, she was like, "Fuck the son-in-law."
Well, she still has to plan a funeral.
Yeah.
Like somebody likes him. Somebody's like, there's things to do now.
Yeah.
Also, the thing is, that's also part of my issue with this. There was no timeline. We're already pretty far into Halloween night. We burned several hours, but they could make it but they didn't show any times, so they could be like, it's still Halloween 2018. You know what I mean? She's broken it. But no, I think they need to give her time to heal. They think they need to give her time to heal and like heal her abdomen. And I think they want her to.
I want the granddaughter to be healed too. Even though, did you notice the granddaughter was significantly older in this film? Like, or not significantly. She's not significantly older. She doesn't look like a child anymore. She looks like a grown woman.
No,
right?
she looks like a young adult with a teenage boyfriend.
Yeah. She doesn't. Well, I don't even think she looks like a young adult anymore. Oh yeah, she does. Like 20. She looks like our age.
I mean, I look like I'm 7, so I don't.
Yeah, that's true. She's. That's not true, Katie. But she looks like 24, 25 now. And in the first one, she actually looked like 17, 18.
Yeah.
So
it's just like.
I think there needs to be a time jump so we can like.
I think there has to be a time jump.
And if I were to write the movie, it's going to focus on the relationship between her and the granddaughter because that's the only person she has left. But I know what they're going to do is make it a hollow like Michael Kills Fest again, and it's going to be fine. It's going to be what people like. I
want to see them like in their survival bunker, like planning out shit, like a quiet place level, like planning detailed, like. But
I don't know. I just want to go back to the tone of the like 2018 version. Like that's what I want.
Survival.
I don't want it to be not a survival, but I mean kind of a survival, but also a hunt. Like
the hunt that we're tracking him down.
I will kill Michael. No, I want it to be. If I wanted it to be a hunt, I don't want the whole town to be hunting him. I want 2 people to be hunting him. Like, I want them to wake up and be like,
what happened?
And I want them to explain how the fuck Michael got into a house that is surrounded by police officers to kill the daughter. Because that doesn't
made 0 sense. It really made 0 sense.
He went out the front door to get to that road. So that means he would have to pass by the police officers in some capacity unless he went all the way around.
Also, was nobody watching his body?
Well, they all died. So, I mean, theoretically, like he killed everyone there, even Bobby Doyle. I cannot.
Bobby Doyle. You really had so much hatred in your voice.
I cannot stand that they brought those characters back just to kill him. Like, it was kind of cool. I was like, oh, it's the kid from the first movie, and then I was like, yeah, great. Great. I'm so glad he's turned into this.
Yeah, so
I'm
glad,
so glad
that nothing
turned
happened.
into like a grandfather that watches like mows his lawn every other Saturday, like
Yeah.
and gets mad
He's
at
like-
Cowboys games. He
Also,
really
even
is.
we're gonna pay tribute to his victims tonight.
Yeah,
Like it literally,
yeah. Oh my god. No, he is
literally, it just felt. I don't know. Felt sussy baka.
I just wasn't a big fan of his. I hate it when you say
Yeah.
that. I wasn't a big fan of his. I was not.
Yeah.
Whatever. We'll just move on. I don't want to.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
I just wasn't a fan of what they decided to do with the character. That's what I'll say.
I know.
Um. But Katie, do you have anything else you'd like to add on Halloween Kills?
Honestly, I'm ready to not think about this movie for a very long time.
Me too. I would be there. I'm gonna be these next 2 years in between production time. It's gonna be a good.
It's gonna be nice. We're gonna rest easy, and then
Yeah,
it's gonna be next September, and you're gonna be like,
Oh my god, I really want
"It's
to.
time."
I really want to like the next one.
We're gonna have to see it together though, because I think it'd be way more fun.
Yeah, I would like to. Okay, all right. Let's. Katie, where can people reach out and find you on social media?
At Real Slim Katie 25 on TikTok or Instagram.
And that is, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude our show. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe and follow me on Instagram at Dylan Reviews. We're appreciative of you listening and hope to have you back when we talk about Titans Season 3 next week. Like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. And I just want to leave you with one thing. I'm going to kill Michael.
No, I'm going to kill Michael.
No, you're not, Katie. God damn it.
No.